Okay, so welcome to Friday Pilates, Matt. Let's come to standing to begin. And just for fun, let's pick up our foam roller. Okay. And if you don't have a foam roller, I'm hoping that you all do. I think all of you do. I don't know what else you could do this with, like a broom handle or something. Lift your foam roller up overhead and just let yourself sway back and forth and let the foam roller move with you. And just notice your awareness of your limbs connected into your torso as you sway side to side and hold the foam roller overhead. Oh no, Joan and Susie are having trouble. They disappeared again. Okay, so back and forth we go. And then let your foam roller swing down and swing up and swing down and swing up. Jory's gyro-kinetics meet the foam roller. So we swing a big circle. Let's go the other way. Circle the other way. Now notice when we bring the foam roller in, I've been having you really concentrate on not leaning too far. So you could do this like whole body, like this, right? You can also do it smaller. But find the place where you do it, really pay attention to your back. Like, am I able to stabilize in my back, whatever choice I'm making with the circle? Let's go the other way again. And it could be that your circle stays low because of shoulder impingement. That's okay too. And you can switch directions and then come into your figure eights with the arms. So the birds are chasing each other, but you've got your foam roller this time. So can you work with fluid motion around the foam roller? So here's what I'm doing from the side. Now you don't have to twist quite as much as I am. You could stay forward, or you can bring it into a comfortable twist. And notice how it may be different than when we aren't working with the foam roller because your arms are being held at a certain width. Yeah. And then come back to center and take 3 steps as you raise the foam roller up. Come to your toes, look up, and then exhale, walk back. And inhale, lift up, and exhale, walk back. And inhale, lift up, and exhale, walk back. And reach, and release, and reach, and release, and reach, and release. One more. Reach and release. Bring your foam roller to stand beside you. Put your hand on your foam roller. Hopefully it's long enough. And take your opposite leg out. And lift that foot up and circle. And let your arms circle too. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other way. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take your foam roller to the other side. Limbs out to the left. Really stand strong in the left foot. Hug in the left glute. And see, can you just pause here without the foam roller or just light weight on the foam roller? And then, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hand and leg circle. Other way. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Step down and switch sides again. And this time, step your foot up into your Vriksasana. Hug the midline. Create the banks of your river. And open your right arm skyward. And take the right foot out and bend the knee. Out and bend. Out and bend. Out and bend. Last one and hold out and circle. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Step down. Other side. You stand strong on the right leg. Vriksasana, foot with the left. Open your left arm. Relax at the shoulder girdle. And then take the left foot out and bend and out and bend, out and bend and out and bend. Take the leg long and circle. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Circle the other way now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Step down. Move your foam roller out of the way and bring your hands forward and let them flow. Flow and flow. Now feel the difference, but be aware of the space between your hands. You had a big foam roller in there for a while. Now bring your hands closer and feel the motion. A little wider and a little wider and as wide as they go. And then back in towards the middle. The hands flow in the figure eights. Maybe your body twists side to side. And come back to center. Bring your hands to your hips and let them circle. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Figure eights. Round, really reach into that hip tissue, kind of stretch the bones into the hips. Ah, yes, good morning, hips. Notice how your shoulders move in response to the hips, how your knees work in response to the hips. Feel into it and try to have some fluidity there. Bend your knees a little. Let the knees have some give as you figure eight. Yeah, there you go. Good. And now come to stillness. Walk your feet in and bring your hands to your knees and circle. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come to standing and float the arms up and circle. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let your knees bounce. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Forward. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Forward. 2, 3. Back. 2, 3. Forward. 1. Back. 1. Forward. 1. Back. 1. Bring the hands together. Pulse. Pulse. Open. Follow the left hand open. Pulse. Pulse. Follow the right. Pulse. Pulse. Left. Pulse. Pulse. Right. Pulse. Pulse. Left. Pulse. Pulse. Right. Stay open. Lift your palms skyward. Lift your heart. Root your heels. Root your tailbone. Stretch the spine long. And release your arms. And march. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going. Try to relax at the shoulder girdle and lengthen your neck. Just relax at the shoulder girdle and lengthen your neck. Let your head rest back, your hyoid bone rest back. And pause your marching and lean to the left and come in and lean to the right and in and lean right arm forward and lean left arm forward. And we stretch and back, stretch and back. Now remember this idea that your spine can resist a little bit away from the lean. It doesn't have to go full force into the lean. And that can help you keep better balance and be lighter on your feet. So your spine may lean a little away from the leg that's leaning out to the side. It may lean back away. Yeah, beautiful. Keep your center of gravity. And come back to center. And now push the arms out, follow with the spine, and hug back. Let's make it circles. Circle forward and in, circle and in, circle and in. Last one. Now, press out, lean the heart away. Bring the heart and hands together. Press and pull and press, pull, press and pull and press and pull. And let's take it to the other side. Okay, so we lean, circle energy in, lean, circle, lean, circle. This doesn't mean we lean like this. Okay, we're not breaking at the hip. We're trying to stay long in the spine, circle in, long in the spine, all the way to that back outer heel that's rooting. We circle and draw, Good, circle and draw. Try to keep that back heel rooted, that outer back heel. And if that's not possible, then just think of reaching back with the heel as the arms come forward. Or reach, or take a smaller step. Okay, now come and press and come together, and press and come together. So the hands away from the heart, and then the hands and heart meet. Press together, press together. Last one. And stand in your mountain pose. Take a deep breath into the lower belly and low back. Relax the outer body on the exhale and lengthen the spine. Now breathe into the side waists. Relax the outer body and lengthen the side spine. Breathe into the front chest and the area between the shoulder blades. Relax the outer body and lengthen the thoracic spine. Breathe length from your heels up the spine into the skull. And inhale, reach your arms skyward. And circle, small circles, like you're washing the ceiling. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 other way. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let the arms circle slowly down. Circle down. And let the arms sway to the left, circle up overhead and down to the right. And find that stretching motion in the body. Really try to find an elongated side body, an elongated side body. And so we reach and release. And this time we may be going more than our 70% of effort just to get that stretch. One more. And take the arms down and go the other way. We reach and release. Reach, release, reach, release, and reach, and release. Okay, pick up your hand weights and step back into your heels. Let your hyoid bone rest back as well. And circle the arms forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Pause. Root the feet, reach the knuckles, and down the other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, take your left foot into your kickstand position and lean back and circle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hug the banks of your river. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Open your arms to a T. Turn the palms up and bicep curl. And as you release the bicep curl, release the foot to the side. And bicep curl and release, bicep curl and release, curl and release, and curl and release, and step down. Fluid breath. Come into your kickstand position and circle the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Open into your T. Turn your palms skyward and bicep curl and open. And as you bicep curl, straighten the right leg and bend the knee and straighten and bend. Check in that you do not hyperextend at the elbow, but we're doing that slow release so that we create a long, strong muscle. And last one. And step down and roll your shoulders. Now, form the wings of a beetle. Like you're hugging in, your beetle wings are wrapping forward, and you're going to open your beetle wings. But you're not going to open the elbows so far back that the head of the arm bone pops forward. You're going to keep the head of the arm bone back, okay? Trying to find an angle where you can see that. So I'm not doing this. Do you see the difference? I'm doing this. Shoulder blades onto the back body. Shoulder blades onto the back body. Yeah, good. Shoulder blades onto the back. Feel for it. Your humerus bone does not come forward in the circular room of the rotator cuff and rub against it. So we circle our beetle wings, open and closed, open and closed. Now you can stay just with the arms or lift to one toe and release. Lift to the other toe, release. Open, toe, toe and foot, toe and foot, lift and foot, lift and foot. Now you could lift the foot, release, step up, release, lift, release, lift, release, open and close, open and close. Last set. And stand strong and roll your shoulders. And let the arms float out to the side, float palms together and release. Gyro-kinetics meets your arm weights, okay? So they float up, palms float towards each other, down to the hips. We lift and close and open, and we can lift a knee and step down and lift and release. We could lift the knee all the way and release, lift the knee and release. Find what's right for you. You could just do the arms, or you can add in the legs. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now we're going to go the other way with the arms. Up, open, palms down, palms in towards hips. Up, open, and down. And perhaps you lift to a toe, open and down. Lift to a toe, open and down. We lift the knee, open and down. Lift, open and down. Lift, open and down. Lift, open and down. Now maybe you lift, open the arms, open the knee, and step down. Lift, open and down. A lift, open and down. A lift, open and down. Two more. Lift, open and down. A lift, open and down. One more set. Lift, open and down. A lift, open and down. Now lift, open and pause. Really stand strong on your standing leg and see, can you open the knee and bend? Open and bend. Open and release. And lift the arms, lift the knee, take it out. And see, can you open and bend, open and bend, open and release, and roll your shoulders. Okay, before we come to the floor, let's open our upper shoulder girdle by coming against your wall in your robot arms. Really think of broadening the shoulder girdle on the wall and taking the head of the arm bones back and pressing along the humerus bone into the wall. Invite your breath to fill the front belly and chest and to expand the tissue of the front chest and side chest. Fluid breath. Breathing into opening the shoulder girdle and realigning the head of the arm bones, resting the head back. Remember, work at the level of effort that is healthy for your body. Don't strain these muscles, ligaments, and tendons of the shoulder girdle. What we want is for you to just really rest it open and use the breath to help stretch the tissue. Let the body remember having the head of the arm bones back and the head and hyoid bone able to kind of rest back over the spine. And release. And come and circle one shoulder and the other and sway to the elbow, stretching out. Let's create space in the fascia. Really open the arms. Let yourself be like water. And come back to center. And now float the arm up and imagine you have your knee like a marionette puppet. Float up, open and down, up, open and down. Could just be to the toe, open and down. You're still getting good external rotation work, whether you're on the toe or lifted knee. One more. And stand strong on the other foot. Lift to the toe, open and down, or lift the knee, open and down. Circle the arm and the femur bone in the hip socket. Ah, yes. Creating some lubrication in our joints and some balance at the same time. Beautiful. All right. So today I'd like you to begin with your roller long ways on your mat and your pillow on top of your roller for your head. So you may not need a pillow, but if you need a pillow, you'll know by your chin jutting up and feeling like the back of your neck is short. We want the gaze perpendicular even when we lay on the roller. So we're going to lay long ways down the roller. Oh, before you do that, some of you might need blocks to either side of your roller later. So bring your blocks in to either side of your roller. Okay, some of you might not need them, but I just want to have them there in case. Then you're going to sit up close to the very front end of the roller, and you're going to roll your spine back along the roller with the pillow under your head. Okay, now if you don't need a pillow, you don't have to use one. But what we want is your gaze perpendicular to the floor. And then just gently rock yourself back and forth on the roller, rolling the spine just a little bit over the roller, getting into those erector spinae muscles on either side of the vertebrae, either side of the spinous processes. Just roll back and forth. Ah, yes. It's like we are the pie dough resting over the top of the rolling pin once it's been pretty rolled out. Only we're getting to roll out those muscles now. Okay, come to center on your roller, stable at the sacrum, stable between the shoulder blades, and lift your arms skyward. Now, floss the arms by reaching the head of the arm bone as high as it will go towards the sky, and then releasing it back down around the roller, and lift and release, lift and release, lift and release, lift and release. This is called flossing the shoulders. Lift and release, lift and release. Now, lift to kind of middle between the lift and the release. Take your arms a little bit wide and come into a Y overhead. Now, float to one toe of one foot, put the foot back down. Float to the other toe, foot back down. Maybe float the foot off the floor, back down, float the foot off, back down, to the toe or off, to the toe or off. One more set, lift and lower, lift and lower. And bring your arms down, elbows down into a W. Your palms are facing in towards your ears. So the first one was a Y for youthful. Now you're in the W for wonderful. Again, come to your toe or lift the foot and put it back down. Toe or lift and down, lift and down, lift and down. One more set. And open your arms to a T for terrific. Hold the T and lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Bring your elbows into your waistline, palms up towards the top of the head in an L shape. Fluid breath. Feel into your shoulders, and if this feels like too much of a strain, bring your arms towards each other, towards midline, pinkies towards each other. And if it's not a strain, let it open up to stretch the rotator cuff. Good. And bring your hands to your belly. Take a deep breath into the belly. Exhale, relax the spine long along the roller. Take a deep breath into your side waists. Relax the spine long on the roller and roll back and forth gently, back and forth, releasing the erector spinae muscles. Okay, so this is really good work for those of us that have tension along parts of the spine. We're kind of rolling out the bread dough of the back, or the pie dough. Okay, now bring your blocks to either side and place your hands on the blocks and float one foot into tabletop and the other foot to join it. Now you can turn your hands so the backs of the hands are against the blocks if that's comfortable for you. Better for the shoulder because it's external rotation. Now hug your legs to midline. And then open them, heels as wide as sit bones, and toe dip. One foot towards the floor. Remember not to touch. Toe dip the other foot and come back up. And inhale down and exhale up. And inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Hug the midline again. Find the banks of your river. Take an inhale. Exhale through pursed lips. Feel for your transverse abdominis turning on. Take another inhale. Exhale through pursed lips. One more inhale. And full exhale. And then inhale. Take the right leg out to the right. And then hug it back to center. Right leg out again. And to center. And one more time. Out and in. Now take the left leg out and come to center. The roller will keep you more honest about how far you can go without starting to become unstable. Try the right leg again after you've done 3 on the left. Try 2 on the right and 2 on the left. And then go to 1. Opening right and then closing. Opening left and then closing. Stay with your breath. Inhaling out and exhaling in. Inhaling out and exhaling in. Now come back to midline, draw your knees towards your chest and rest your core. Flex and point your feet. Take your feet a little wider and circle the feet one way and then circle the feet the other and hug back into midline and lift one leg long, trying to straighten it and bend the leg and straighten the other and bend the leg. Now pause with your legs back in tabletop and begin to lift weight off your hands and try to find balance on the roller. So see, can you almost lift the weight off the hands, or maybe one hand comes off and the other keeps touching down. Try to find balance on your roller. How do these parts of the body interact? How can you find balance on your roller? And float one foot slowly to the ground and then the other. And lift your arms towards the sky. Open them like wings. Bring them down by the hips and circle the arms. Maybe they go overhead, maybe not. Let the arms circle and open. Now as the arms circle up, lift one leg up, maybe just to the toe, maybe up to tabletop. And then lift the other. Open and place the foot back down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And maybe you just take the foot and make it lighter so it doesn't even lift the ground. So see what works best for you. Yep. Again, you're working on your balance. Now circle one leg up and pause. Lift it up. See if you can sustain that. And then open and release. Lift the other leg up and pause. See if you can sustain that. Good. And release. Okay, let's roll off to the side of the foam roller. And roll it out from under you and just lay on your back for a moment. And feel into how flat on the floor your back may feel. It may feel broader. It may feel more connected. And come into your somatic walking. One hip lifts as you press into that same side foot, and then the other. And you just gently rock the pelvis side to side. Fluid breath. Good. Okay, let's roll over onto our side bodies and come into a little side lying leg series work. Okay, so lie down so that your shoulders and your sacrum are against the back of the mat, and you can bring a pillow in over your arm long, or double the pillow and have the arm horizontal, or you can bring your head onto your hand. Bring the top fingertips right in front of your core on the floor so that they're active and you're broad across the shoulder girdle. And lift your feet and open your clamshells and close and open and close and open and close. Now imagine you have a TheraBand on that's resisting you as you open. Imagine you have a big ball between your knees as you close. Kind of press it out and press it in. Press out and press in. One more. And now keep your legs in this trajectory and just straighten the knee and lift the foot and lower and inhale and exhale. Lift and lower and lift and lower. Point the toe. One circle, two circle, three circles, other way. One circle, two circle, three circle. Keep the grounded leg where it is. Take the lifted leg long and again, circle down the mat. So your top leg is down the mat. Circle, two, three, other way. Circle, two, three. Now point the toe and kick the foot forward. Flex the foot and draw the heel back. Kick and draw, kick and draw. Now everybody bring your top hand to the hip and keep the hip as still as it can stay while the leg moves in the hip joint. So we don't want to be coming out of our neutral lumbar curve. We kick forward and draw back, forward and back. Now let's kick forward. Bring the heel to the sit bone, release the knee long down the mat and unfurl the leg. Kick forward, bend, knee down the mat, unfurl, kick, bend. And you're beginning to ride the bicycle backwards. Yep, good. Feel into that range of motion for the hip. It's kind of side-lying Pilates gyro-kinetics. There you go, Jory. Kick forward and draw the heel back, heel to sit bone. Kick forward, draw back, and bicycle forwards. Yes, beautiful. And one more. And then let's go into our grand rond de jambe. So you could circle small, just draw kind of a circle hula hoop, or you can make it a little larger. You decide where the circle is okay in your hip, and that's enough that way. Now take it the other way. Circle and circle and circle. Beautiful. And now a few popcorns, but we're going to start with them slow. So bring the top toes in front of the bottom foot and tap 2, 3, 4, and 5, and lift the leg up. And then take the foot behind the other foot and tap 2, 3, 4, and 5, and lift. And tap the front 1, 2, 3, 4, and lift. Tap behind the heel 1, 2, 3, 4, and lift. So you can stay at that rate or speed it up a little. 1, 2, 3, and lift. 1, 2, 3, and lift. 1, 2, and lift. 1, 2, and lift. 1 pop, 1 pop, 1 pop, 1 pop, and release. And come up for a side plank, folding your mat in. Make sure your elbow is under your shoulder or further towards the top of your head, and come back into your clamshell position. And inhale, lift the side body. Just bring the arm to drape over, shoulders broad, space around the neck. And then if you'd like, press into the arm, lift the hips up. Feel into this and breathe three-dimensionally into the body. Now, can you keep the shoulder girdle really stable and bring the lifted arm forward and bring it back up? Lifted arm forward and up, forward and up and overhead and circling around and circling around. Lift it up one more time and release. Take your legs long if you'd like to, or stay in that plank position and step the top foot perpendicular to the bottom, to the body, and lift up. Broad across the shoulder girdle again, if you'd like to stack your feet. And if you'd like to, bring the arm forward and lift it back up. So I'm trying to get you to keep a little fluidity in the body, a little space in the body, not get too rigid. A lot of times we get really rigid in planks. So you can play with wherever the arm goes, but try to avoid being totally rigid. Good, and come back down. And let's take it to the other side. Okay, shoulders and sacrum against the back of the mat, head resting on the hands, knees bent, top hand right in front of the core, pressing down to keep the shoulder girdle active. Lift the feet and open the knees and close and press the knees out and press them in and open and close and find your breath. Maybe you take an inhale for one round and an exhale for the other. And last one. And open the legs. Now I want you to be sure that this hand that's on the mat right here is active. Like I'm kind of pressing each finger into the mat, waking up the hand a little bit. Float the leg up and float it down. Pinky and heel are even as we float up and down and inhale. Exhale, open and close. Remember, the legs should be kind of forward on the mat. That helps you create a kickstand for the body. If they're way down here, you're going to struggle with balance a little bit more. And last one, and then we draw 3 circles. 1, 2, and 3, and we draw them the other way. 1, 2, and 3. Take the leg long down to the foot of the mat and circle. 2, 3, circle the other way. 1, 2, and 3. And now point and kick and flex and draw back and point and flex and point and flex. Hand to the hip. See if you can keep this side body long. We're not hitching the hip as the foot comes up. We're not tilting the pelvis. One more. And then kick forward. Bring the heel to the buttock. Take the knee long and unfurl. Kick, bend, long, and unfurl. Keep going your own pace in these backward bicycles. And let yourself be conscious of where there might be tightness in the body. If you were here at Wednesday's class, remember, we're focused on the first principle of Pilates, awareness in the body. Now, bring your bicycles the other way and make it a fluid bicycle. Fluid. The hand can stay on the hip or come back down active in front. And last bicycle, let's go into our grand rond de jambe. Take your circles. Usually we just do 3 of these. We did a few more on the other side, so we'll do 1 more. And then take it the other way. Don't force the circle to be bigger than your femur joint wants at this point. And relax back down. Bring the top foot in front of the bottom. And we're going to popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And lift the leg. And behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, and lift. 1, 2, 3, and up. 1, 2, 3, and up. 1, 2, and lift. 1, 2, and lift. 1, lift, 1, lift, 1, lift, 1, lift, and land. And come up for your side plank. So we just rainbow the arm first and we lift the underside body up. We feel the strength of the musculature along this side body. And then we release back. You can stay with that or inhale and lift the hips. Feel into the lift and lift the arms straight up above and let the palm come towards the floor. Keep the shoulder girdle strong. Let the arm lift and float. Perhaps you'd rather float it back and up above itself. So play with how you're going to circle the arm and remind yourself to stay fluid, even as you build strength in the underside body. And you can stay with that bent knee plank or lengthen the bottom leg out, step the top foot perpendicular and come back up again. You can stay here or stack and lower the arm and lift and let the arm move with some fluidity as you're strong in the underside of the body. Remembering we create stability for the fluidity in other parts of the body. Beautiful. And release. All right. So now let's bring the roller back in and let's bring our shins onto the roller. And let's roll out our shins a little bit. Okay, so your shins come onto the roller, hands in front of the roller, and we come up and draw the roller in and press it out. And this is actually core strengthening work. Builds upper body bone density, and it rolls out the fascia of your shins. Now you can step your legs a little wider, turn your knees out a little bit, and you'll get different muscle tissue. So come into a little bit more of a frog position. You'll be putting probably more weight on your wrists, so make sure that's okay. And then you may have to walk back to follow your roller or get off and pull it forward again. Walk your shins back in and roll. And just think, wow, I'm really moving the fluid and tissue in this lower leg. Yeah, good. Trying to slow down, Susie. Letting you be here for a moment, experimenting. Okay, and then you can roll off that and roll the roller forward so that it's just in front of your knees and come over it onto your forearms and then roll up and down your quads. So we did some good hip strengthening work with the side lying series. And now we're rolling out the fronts of the legs. Rolling out the quads. You may even be able to come onto the pelvis a little bit. You can roll the roller down again more if you're not getting down towards your knee. It's important to release the tissue all around so you can turn your toes out and have the roller do more of the inner quad and maybe towards the edge of the adductors. You can point the toes down and get more of the kind of mid quads. You can roll the toes a little towards each other, see how that changes your leg position. And then you can do your side legs. So you can take the roller farther towards the back side and bring the other foot up, or just rest the leg, the shin beside the roller, and roll more on the outer edge of the back long leg. Do you see what I'm doing? So I'm supporting it because the IT band can be really tender. So we bring the other leg over the roller so that we don't overdo the pressure. And some people have the flexibility to bring the foot up like this and get some hip stretch and roll a little farther to the outside of the IT band. So you choose. Yeah. Okay. And remember, you could come back to any of this rolling after class if you find a particular spot that you think, oh, I'd really like to work on releasing that a little bit more. Okay, let's try the other side. So you want to take the foam roller back behind you so that you can have the other leg forward. And it could be shin on the ground, rolling the outer edge of the straight leg quad. And just make note of where your tissue is tightest and most tender. Yeah. Fluid breath. Don't hold the breath. Try not to tense. Take pressure off if you need to. If you want to step onto the foot and roll more to the outside of the leg, then try that. So it's kind of an experimentation, right? You're exploring your own body and thinking, wow, why am I so tense right there in that particular spot, on that particular side? Fluid breath. Really feeling into the tissue. Try to notice pleasant and neutral sensations as well as unpleasant sensations. Okay, and then let's roll up to sit on the foam roller. And again, you may want your yoga blocks here. You may not, but we'll bring them in to start with. So have the yoga blocks behind you. Sit up on your roller and cross your left ankle over your left knee. And lift your right buttock so that you're turning more towards the left buttock. And then roll. So now we're trying to get into that deep glute tissue in the hip and buttock. So you may feel like you get deeper if you bring your hand back to the floor. And if this compromises your knee because you don't have that opening, you can just come into a cross-legged position, cross the foot a little farther over, but try to turn towards the top leg on the roller. Some of you are turning towards the bottom leg right now. Turn towards the top leg on the roller. Yeah. And roll that deep hip tissue. I'm curious to hear what you found and felt at the end of this session. Okay, and then you can release that side if you're ready and take the other side. Coming back to sitting on the roller. If you have the flexibility, bring the right ankle over the left femur. If you don't, just cross the legs. Lean towards the top leg and turn a little towards that side hip and roll. So we did lots of good strengthening work in these hips, and now we're like, okay, those muscles are warmed up. I'm going to give them a little fascial release. Make sure that the fascial layers aren't sticking together. And hopefully that'll make it so that you're not quite as sore tomorrow. Rolling out the tissue. This side feels really good to me, so I could stay here. I could stay here a while. You get the teacher's body preferences sometimes. I try not to do that. I have to recognize it's happening. Okay, and then come down. All right, let's end with one symmetrical pose with our feet on the roller. Walk the feet as close into your buttocks as is comfortable and broaden across your shoulder girdle again. Think of the head of the arm bone releasing towards the floor, the whole humerus grounding, and lift your pelvis into your bridge. And you can roll a little on your feet here. So you're really strengthening your hamstrings, and you may feel that. The farther your feet are away from the buttocks, the harder it'll be on your hamstrings. So it's always good to start these new exercises close in. And then you can pause from rolling your feet over the roller and just lift the pelvis a little higher. And lift the right hip a little higher, lowering the left, and swing across and lift the left. And swing, and swing, and breathe, and enjoy. And come back to center and lift the pelvis and lengthen the spine. And then if it's accessible to you, roll down one vertebrae at a time. If not, just lower the pelvis to the ground. Come into your neutral curve and let's roll up. Feel the spine rolling up and then roll it back down. And release the foam roller, roll it out from under your feet. And roll yourselves over into child's pose. Take a few fluid, three-dimensional breaths into the lower abdomen and back, relaxing on the exhales. Reach your hands forward and plant them at least shoulder distance wide and roll up into your downward dog. Take the femur bones back in the hip sockets. Now you can just stay in this dog, building some great upper body strength. If you'd like to go a little farther, strengthen across your shoulder girdle down into your arms and float one leg up behind you. Bend that knee and lift that hip above the other side's hip. Keep your shoulder girdle strong and grounding. And press the lifted foot back behind you, stretching through the pelvis and spine. A few fluid breaths. Keep your weight on both hands. Check in that your elbows aren't hyperextending, that your standing knee isn't hyperextending. And come back to center and release the foot and float up the other side. Strong across your shoulder girdle. Lift one hip over the other as you bend the knee and press the foot behind you. Broad across your shoulder girdle. Great. And then come back to your neutral. Lengthen the legs, step down, and walk your feet forward. Bend the knee. Come into your standing child's pose. Some of you may want to bring in your blocks and just pause here, thinking about lengthening your spine. Some of you will be able to bring your hands down and lift your sit bones skyward into a forward fold. Again, wherever you are, a few fluid breaths. Good. And then bend your knees and unhinge the hips and reach for the sky. Really reach. And exhale your hands down to the heart. And inhale, float the arms up, float one knee up, lift. As the arms come lifted, see if you can straighten that leg out front. And then release. Float up to the toe, to the knee, perhaps straighten the leg, and release. And again, the other side, lift, lift, straighten, and release, lift, lift, straighten, and release. Pause, heels together, zip up the inner thighs. Add strength at the outer thighs. Feel the whole foot on the floor, four corners, lift your toes, lift your arches. Relax your toes and bend your knees out. Let your arms rise partway. And press down with the hands and straighten the legs. And inhale and exhale. Let your head and shoulders lean back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale through the nose, exhale through pursed lips. Inhale, find a lift of the pelvic floor. Your transverse abdominis turn on as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale, float up to the balls of the feet. Extend the spine and neck long and lower the heels. And let's inhale in to our growing strength and stability in our bodies. Let's inhale in to strong bones, to open fascia. Let's inhale in to a wonderful weekend for all of you. Thank you. All right.